you've been misinformed. The network marketing industry has created the most plotted Black millionaires in history. It's a model that you can just come in and leverage their services and products, leverage their back office, leverage their customer service, leverage their overhead, and you can literally have a business out the box, right? Something that you could just come in at minimal price and learn $1 million skills. Because I actually mentor people that I would charge $20,000 for, and people in my organization, they be paying like $80 a month, but you're getting this high level mentorships, the relationships, you're building relationships with people all around the world. So when people have that negative stuff, they either never worked the business or they heard somebody else say, oh, don't do something like that because maybe they had a bad experience or maybe they've been sold a dream. But with me being in leadership, that's what made me want to start my company. I lead with values. I don't lie to nobody about nothing. It does take time and it does take work.
Hey, welcome to another wonderful episode of the New Rich Podcast with Dr. Uyi Abraham
and Dr. Faith Abraham. Welcome back, New Rich Nation.
Great. We're so excited to have you here today. We have a special treat for you. We have one of our favorite people here in the studio on the podcast with us today. And he's going to be dropping some really, really powerful bombs that is going to help you to take your life, your destiny, your business to another level. But before we do that, Dr. Faith, how was your week?
It's been going good. The kids are out of school, so I've had to navigate that. This one's going to camp. This one's over here. This one's learning this tech side. We work. We delegating. We making it work.
I see.
How's your week?
Yeah, my week is going good. You know, the kids are out of school, so it's kind of good and bad in a sense. So
What's the bad part?
The bad part is that now you have to kind of keep them active in something. You know, they always want to do things. You know, growing up in Nigeria, you know, you get to play with yourself, play with your friends. You don't bother your parents much. Well, kids nowadays, they want to play with you 24/7. And you're going to be like, but daddy got to work. Mommy got to work. We got to make some money too.
For real.
Right?
I always tell them that, like, you're out of school. I'm not out of work.
Exactly.
Relax.
You know, so they're still trying to figure that out, you know. But yeah, our weeks are going good. So we have a special guest today, Mr. Taquan.
Man,
good to see you, bro.
Good to see you. Good to see you again. Two of my favorite people as well. Greatest personalities ever.
Great. Yeah, you're doing great things, though. You're doing some amazing things. We just all spoke together at an event last weekend at the time of this recording. Yeah. And my wife and I were talking how wonderful and inspirational you are because not just that you're Black, you're young, you're handsome, you're rich, you know, drive nice cars and everything.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but before...
Life is pretty good. Yeah, life is pretty good.
Yeah.
But before that, the one thing we're talking about that we're just so proud of you on is that, you know, you're in an industry that, you know, is dominated by Caucasians. You know, there's not a lot of white, Black people who own, you know, a multi-level marketing company. And what's more exciting about it too is that you're young. Yeah. You know, we're just talking about how you kind of, you know, it kind of remind us of us. Like we're young, we think big, want to do
big.
We don't want to ownership. Not just like walk at the MLM, but I want to own it. So we're just like, that's wonderful that his young age didn't just settle for like, let me try to be the top, you know, earner whatever.
It was like, no, I'm going to own it.
Yeah, own it.
Right. So we're going to come to that. But before we do that, so tell us a little bit about you, your background, and how you got to be who you are today.
So, man, people don't realize it, but I actually like grew up poor.
Really?
I'm super country, grew up on a farm. Like I used to shell peas, just helping my great grandma, like, in the yard. I remember I was getting home from school one day. She'd be like, you know, if you come in here and help me, you know, shell these peas. So like, I used to do that a lot too, man. And, you know, growing up, that, environment, you don't realize because I had a lot of love around me. So we like, in a trailer with like 3 bedrooms, like 16 people in it, but it's like cousins.
That's like Africa stuff. It is, but I grew up in Nigeria.
Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, it's like cousins. It's like your cousins and things of that nature. So you don't realize because it's a lot of love. And then I'll never forget when I ended up moving in with my grandmother when I was like 14. It's the first time me having my own room. It's like 13 years old.
Damn.
Have my own room.
Back in the day, we didn't have nothing till like our teenage years. Our kids now, our youngest is 8. He already got his own room.
Yeah, I ain't have my own room. I have no 12. I probably was like at least probably like 13.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, no, just growing up, you get home from school, you go play with your cousins and stuff like that. It was no, it's times so much has changed now from like even when I grew up and where it is now. You got the technology, but I really grew up like watching like, you know, my grandparents, my granddad, like really being a leader and a father of a household, really like running a household. And while, you know, my grandma would cook, clean, do all the, you know, the domestic things, whatever, but they worked for him too. Yeah. And me being able to see that kind of like, you know, had me a different type of upbringing. Yeah. Like I learned how to be a man at an early age. I'm out there, like I said, helping my grandma doing like field work, and then I'm helping my granddad like fix on cars and like cutting grass and building stuff like that. So I really grew up with those type of, you know, morals. And actually I grew up in the church too. So I remember I used to go to church every Sunday, man. Like I used to want to watch football, but it's like, I'd be like, Mom, can I stay home today? She's like, no, you finna go to church. So I go to like early service so I could be home by 12 o'clock and watch the football like at 1 o'clock. So growing up like that kind of like, you know, taught me a lot.
Look, you know me, I'll cut you off, but it's not good. Being nasty. It's just because my mind is going, I want to ask you this question. Okay, so you grew up in the country, but how do you go from country, getting your own room, not till about 14, fast forward, grew up in church. Now you tatted. Yeah. Okay. You glistening, you got some blinging happening on the neck. What happened in between to take you from country boy to owner of a multi-million-dollar business? Like, that's a big leap.
It is. I think, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, even with the way I grew up at, where I'm from, you made $40,000 a year, you was that person. Everybody knew who you was. People riding around, like, if you had a Chrysler 300 back in the days, you was that person. Like, you was it. But honestly, like, I used to watch a lot of MTV Cribs, to be honest with you. Like MTV Cribs stay up at night, man. It also put a vision in my mind of like what I wanted my life to be like, right? Because then, you know, just what I was exposed to and what I was able to see just on television. Because a world around me was like, it was hardships, violence, a lot of those things, man. So I still had that. Just growing up in church too, I always had a faith for just living a better life. And I always just wanted to be, to do something different and break generational curses, man. And honestly, watching that stuff gave me a bigger dream, man. It gave me a bigger desire to like want more out of life. And I watched, you know, just while watch my grandma, my mom grew up, I was like, I want to be able to like, one day they don't have to work anymore. And I know there were certain things that I had to do in order to make that happen. So I always was thinking bigger, like education and learning. Cause I figured out like, okay, this is what it's going to take for me to get here. And I just kind of like follow that path.
Wow. That is so amazing. So what about your dad? You spoke about your mom, your grandma. So
it's so crazy, right? Nobody don't really know this. I didn't find out who my real dad was till probably like 2 years ago. Like I had a stepdad growing up. Yeah.
Let's slow down the tape a little bit. So tell us the story. What happened?
So like just growing up, I had a stepdad or whatnot. And that man was mean as hell, like super mean. So I had ended up growing up with him for a little while. Then I moved, like I said, I moved my grandma and my granddad till I was like 13. So I had my granddad as a father figure. But as I got older, people be like, you know, did you never want to know who your father was? But it didn't really bother me because I had my granddaddy. So I was with him like every day. But like literally like 2 years ago, like not 2 years ago, about a year ago, I found out who my real dad was. Wow. And then as I built a relationship with him, God forbid, he died like 2 months ago. And I actually never got a chance to like build a relationship with him.
Sorry to hear that. I didn't know he was your real dad.
Because I ended up finally asking my mom and she told me the truth.
After all this years? Why did it take us so long?
I just never cared, honestly.
Really?
Like because
so you
when
didn't have a void. It didn't feel like there was anything missing.
Yeah, it wasn't. Because like I said, I had my granddaddy there and I'm with him like every day. Like, and I was living with them. So I really had that father figure. Right. But in the back of my mind, I was like, you know, I wouldn't mind knowing who my biological father was. But it was so crazy. Like I literally found out who he was like maybe a year ago. And I was up here and I was basically traveling. I never got a chance to be in a relationship with him. And he died like 2 months ago. Literally like March.
Wow. Yeah. You feel like that brought any type of closure to you, or just kind of that chapter just closed and you just...
It just closed because it's like, it's kind of hard to be emotionally attached to something when you don't know. So it's kind of hard though, but I had all intention to one day, like just, you know, building that relationship with him, but you don't think that's, you know, he wasn't even that old, like maybe 50 something.
Oh, wow.
So I never thought that, you know, I never get a chance to meet my real father. So it's like, but even growing up, the things that it taught me that when I have kids, I'm gonna be like present and like actually be a father. That's why I don't have kids now. Cause I want to wait till I get married because I actually want to be a father. I seen that growing up, how my granddad treated me. So it's like, I want to have my own family and I want to like be a actual great father, be in the household. Wow. Teach them my ways.
So do you feel like growing up without your dad at home, did you feel like it left some void in you, or you just feel like you just don't know what you don't know, so it didn't really make that much?
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. Like I said again, like having my granddad there. Okay. So it's like, and I had a stepfather growing up, but you know, so I still kind of had that. But when I realized that he wasn't my biological father, like maybe when I was like 12, I found out he wasn't my real dad. But then, like I said, I was with my grandmother. I was living with my grandmother at the time, moved there with her, so it didn't really bother me. But when I did find out, I was like, Mom, like, why you tell me? Right. I guess I don't know what they went through or what they had, why she was trying to keep it from me. Yeah. But I just was like, just leave it alone. Wow. And a lot of people don't even know that. That's my first time ever talking about it. Yeah.
Rich Nation, we are privy to.
Hey, I'm Uyi Abraham, founder and CEO of Vonza.com.
And I'm Faith Abraham, co-founder of Vonza.com.
Yes, how we created Vonza. I want to make it so easy, simple for online entrepreneurs, coaches, and creators to run their business online. Because we know how difficult it is to try to run a business online and have to deal with several tools and try to tie them all together, wasting time and money.
Absolutely. And so it just makes sense to have a platform that has everything you need to run your business online seamlessly in one place, like your website, your funnels, your online courses, membership community, scheduling, and a lot more things that are really going to help you be the best at what you do.
Vonza has made it easy for over 10,000 entrepreneurs to run their business online. So move away from the old and come into the new. Go right now to Vonza.com and get started to running your business online. Remember, Vonza is the best platform to run your business online. We'll see you right there. Vonza.com.
Vonza.com. There's a lot of things that I feel like a lot of times people look at the glory, but they don't know the story. Yeah. And so they feel like, oh, well, that's you doing that. Yeah. You made it. You a unicorn or whatever. Not realizing that. Yeah. And it's like, it's just human nature. It's like, it's life. So if someone could just put in the work, they could get to where you're at, which is, I think, what happened with a lot of us who watch Cribs. What was Exhibit show?
Pimp Your Ride.
Pimp Your Ride.
Yeah, all type that stuff that really could. It's so crazy. I tell people, even at a young age, that is a staple for what you see and what you take in.
Yes.
Because what you see and what you hear usually what is presented into the real world.
Yes.
And it's like, and it gives you something to look forward to. How like young kids these days, they listen to rap music, they watch violence on TV, so they go out and implement it. I'm watching cars because I'm fixing on cars. I'm watching these big mansions and stuff like that. Like, I want to live in one of those one day. So it kind of like gave me a different, like I said, trajectory.
Exactly. Wow. So then from having like that as something that's just working in your subconscious, like how did that now manifest itself and like unfold in your life? Like, did you just start doing business all of a sudden, or someone introduced you? Yeah. Like,
so I was in the military. So I went to the military straight out of high school. I didn't
know that.
Yeah, I went to the military straight out of high school because my grandma just wanted me to like, you know, get out and do something, get out of the environment. And it was like, I actually wanted some type of foundation, and honestly, I wanted some money. And at the time, they was giving out a bonus. Yeah, and I wanted to go because I wanted to like help my grandma too. Like, 'cause my granddad had ended up, he died when I was like 17 or whatnot. Okay. So it was just my grandmama. So I was like, I gotta help my grandmother out. So the first thing I did was, I was working a little odds and end job for the summertime, but I was like, you know what? Let me go to the military, because you hear about everybody. They always harping, go to the military, do this, do that, because I didn't know anything else. So went to the military, did get the bonus. Okay. I did that for a little while. When I got out, I worked for a little while. And I was just trying to figure out what am I about to do. And I was like, darn, like, let me go to college. Because it was like, you know, I got this stuff from the government, and I was like, I did some engineering work while I was in the military, and I was like, I was Googling like what jobs makes the most money. It was either doctor, accounting, or engineering, right? So I Googled it. So I was like, I already kind of have an engineering background, so let me go to college. And I ended up enrolling in Savannah State University in the engineering program. And that's when I got started in engineering stuff, but my life took a complete 360 turn that a lot of people don't know about. I was involved in a fatal motorcycle accident. Wow. I don't know if you ever read that story?
No.
Yeah, I was back in my sophomore year in college. I was I had gotten a bad motorcycle accident. I was in the hospital for like a year. The doctor told me I had a 5% chance of living a normal life.
A year?
A 5% chance?
Mm-hmm. I was literally like tore up. Like I had broke like 30 bones. Like they think that is not, I was in a coma for like 30 days. Like, wow. Yeah, I was in a coma for like 30 days. And I remember my grandma telling them like, give them another day. Let me wake up. So before they would like take my life support, I ended up waking up like maybe like 2 days before.
That's been on your life.
A praying grandmama will take
everybody know I spent so much time with like my parents, my grandma. I got the best supporting family. Even though they didn't have a lot, but it was that love, man. My grandma would like do anything for me. And like we come from a praying family, man. So the people that know my story, and the people that know me growing up that was in college with me, they look at me now and be like, bro, like I would have never known. Like I'm in little, my friends pushed me around in wheelchairs. Like I had to learn how to walk again, I had to learn how to eat again, I had to learn how to learn again. I had to take like about a year off of school. Like it really, like the doctor said, Ty, you got a 5% chance of living a normal life, because I literally broke every bone. I was in it's on my page. I was in a cast for like 7 months, a full body cast. Like I had to learn how to do everything over again. And it's so crazy. The other people that was involved in the accident, like 2 of them died, and other ones in a wheelchair. But I just kept fighting. Wow. Like I was just like, even during that time, I just had that mindset. It was like just that faith. Like, okay, if I stay in this emotional state right now, I'm never gonna get better. So I always had like I don't know where I get my mindset from, but I just understood that your mind, how you process information, how you think, is how you kind of gonna live your life. So the people that was involved in the accident, of course, everybody was in pain, but they were doing more complaining. But I was like, me complaining and being this negative state of mind, it's not gonna help me get better. So I took that 5% chance, man. I remember, I never forget, my mom used to cry because I used to fall out the bed, and I used to kind of like crawl to the bathroom, and I didn't want her to help me. And she used to be crying in tears. I never cried.
Mom wants to see that.
She's just literally hysterical crying. And I was like, Mom, good. Cause I just didn't want that sorrow, like, like that just wasn't me, man. Like I was like, Mom, good. But like I just had that desire to get better, man. I had like 30 surgeries. Wow. If you Google my name, and if you can pull it up on your phone right now, if you Google my name, Taquan Burney, and it'll tell you the Savannah State accident, and the doctor was like, yo, I never seen somebody come from an injury to be where to come to heal from. I literally hit 100% from injury, but it took me like almost 2 years.
Wow.
But okay, no, 2 years is a blip. A blip.
It took me about 2 years to completely heal.
Versus, listen, okay, first of all, my mind is going, 5% chance is literally like, but I got a chance though, right?
That's how I looked at it. Like, I got a chance. They were like, we got to do this type of surgery. We got to do this type of surgery. We got to connect some veins, take a vein from here, take a vein from there.
Yeah.
But I was like, I got a chance though. So I said, what are the options? Well, you could be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. You could be paralyzed for the rest of your life. Yeah. You can, you see it.
Yeah, it's on Google, yeah. Yeah,
like you could be amputated, whatever. So I was like, okay, I know what's going to happen if I quit.
Right.
So I always tell people, your life is, you can preview your life in a sense if you think about it like that.
Yeah.
If I can look at my life and say, hey, if you don't do this is what your life could look like. And if that presentation or that preview of the movie, if you don't like it, like a movie, right? If you see the previews, if you don't like it, you're not going to go watch it.
Period.
But if you like it, you may go watch it, correct? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I looked at my life, okay, if I quit, my life is going to look like this, a wheelchair. Daily assistance of somebody helping me, not be able to eat correctly. And I'm like, I don't want to live like that, right? So the other end was, okay, Ty, if you do take this other route, you possibly could walk again. You possibly could continue your life. You possibly could do this. So at that point, I'm taking this route because I already know what this looks like.
Yeah.
And me having that mindset, man, I chose to put up a fight, and I won.
That's like a faith. Thank God. That's like a faith mindset.
Amen. Thank like God. I'm telling you, thank God.
Mindset. For real, because it's like you did that for yourself. And now fast forward to where you are in business and what you're doing for other people too. It's like, I'm just going to give you a chance. You got to make the decision.
You got to make the decision what you want to do with it.
But I'll give you a chance. So tell the people, just in case they don't know, like, what is it that you do? What chance is it that you offer people through entrepreneurship?
Like, maybe even before you do that, maybe also how did you get into your business today, then Dr. Faith's question on what you do. But so let's
even
the foundation.
Even after that happened, man, it just gave me a different type of aspect of life. I graduating. I was able to go back to school. I graduating college, and I get my master's degree in engineering. So I have a master's in engineering. So I work for Kaiser Permanente, Procter & Gamble, a lot of engineering firms. I did it for like 6 years designing. I'm great with computers. I like program computers. Anything that has some type of logic or ladder logic or systems involved, I can build it. So having that mindset was like, you know what? I'm really great at this. And let me tell you the transition that really happened. Everybody know my story, right? I was working for this company. I saved my company like $5 million on the software that they was losing money on. They didn't really know. So I created the software with my own intellectual mind, with my engineering background. I ended up saving my company like $7-8 million. We had a recognition, like a quarterly recognition for the company. These folks gave me a $25 gift certificate for all the money that I saved them.
Wow. And $25. Okay. All right, go ahead.
You saved them millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
And then you got a $25 gift certificate.
A $25 gift certificate. And that let me know at that moment how valuable I was to myself. I was like, and I understand how people can stay at a job. Because they would have gave me like a bonus, I probably would have stayed.
Yeah.
I probably would have stayed. Gave me a pat on the back, but I felt so used, and I just felt so like, I don't even know the word I can describe to that moment. I just felt used. I didn't feel valuable. So I just felt like I was just like a piece to them or something. Like they didn't really value my intellectual property, didn't value who I was, and like I said, my value. Yeah. So I quit. They tried to get me to come back. They almost tried to double my salary to get me to come back. I still said no. And it's actually, I'm glad it happened to me, because it made me transition into, you know what? I want to impact the world. Like I'm sitting here, I want to make impact. I want to make my life more meaningful. I want more purpose in life, because I feel like this wasn't purposeful for me. And that made me transition into, like I said, entrepreneurship. And to get into the network marketing piece, I have been doing network marketing in and out since I was in college. Actually, I did a couple of companies, and when I quit my job or whatnot, I wanted to make some money or whatever. So I knew I got into network marketing a little bit, just learning about sales, and it grew me a lot, like mentally. And I was getting like high level personal development for like a minimal cost. Yeah. So, and I'm seeing these companies, I'm just like, it's 200,000 people. Like we talked about, I got 200,000 people in this company. These people paying X, Y, and Z dollars a month. And actually, I sit there and I say the product sucks.
Right.
Like the service sucks. It's not actually doing anything for a person's life. And then what made me, I started going to workshops and learning about credit, learning about financial literacy. And I ended up like changing my life through financial literacy. And I ended up changing my family's life. And I started doing stuff with my friends. And I was just like, yo, I can really build a company to teach people what I've already done. Right. And teach people to really come out of poverty. Because I'm helping people with 400 credit scores buying their first home. People that never seen $20,000 make their first $20,000 just do by real estate, e-commerce, learn how to trade stocks and forex and things of that nature. So I was like, man, and then I understood the model of network marketing. If I can build a foundation to help other people get rich, I ain't never got to worry about money. Yeah. Never worry about money again. So I was like, let me get started. And then that's when it come up, like, I don't know where to get started at too. Right. Cause it's like, there's nobody you can ask on how you start this type of business. Right. There's no really mentorships for it. There's not really people that just out here. It's like a niche field. And it's like a lot of people that don't look like me, running these organizations. Yeah. So man, I just took it upon myself again. Like, you know what? I believe in myself. I remember praying one night, I was like, God, like, just lead me the way I need to go. And I was just doing some research online. I came up on a conference that was going on in Tennessee. Okay. I literally, at the time, I promise you, I had $900 in my name. The ticket was $300. And I think the room was like, I never forget, I made some sandwiches to go up there. And it's this guy that was working with, he's supposed to have went with me, and he didn't really believe what I was going to do, what I said I was going to do. I'm like, bro, I'm not stopping there with marketing company. I said, I'm going to use these services, creating all the stuff that I know people actually need. Because there's people out there right now that are struggling. They don't know people know how to make money, but people don't know how to manage money, and people don't know how to grow money. Right. And I used to be one of those people. Yeah. Go to a job and work. And like I said, transitioning from understanding what financial literacy did for me and my family, I said people gotta know this stuff. Like people, I want to help people get out of these situations, this struggle, this poverty. So I just took it upon myself, and I was like, God, I guess that's what you like. You know what? Your purpose is big in life, so I'm gonna let you go through this journey, go through all this process, all the ups and downs you went through, and I'm gonna be able to let you be a vessel for other people. So I took my last money, I went to this conference, and I met the person that mentored me on how to start an MLM.
Wow.
And we're like this to this day.
Wow. So at what age did you start your multi-level marketing company?
20, had like 5 years, I'm 34, 28.
28. About 28. Yeah. Okay. So at 28, like, okay.
That's a good little number. That's a good age.
Yeah.
You did some stuff at 28 too.
Yeah, 28. Yeah. It took me about a good year. But I had started fixing credit back in like, before all the people doing now, I had been fixing credit back since like 2015. So I've been knowing about it after I graduated and moved. I got in the financial literacy. I had been knowing about that then.
Okay.
But I say like 2 years what made me start the Wealth Builders.
Okay.
And it took about a year to really get off the ground, but I was consistent with it. Like, I remember I used to go around asking people, telling people about it. I had like 1,000 followers on Instagram at the time. So I'm going around. I was happy because I'm like, I know this is going to work. Well, I'm telling you, I had 3 friends with me. 3 of my friends. Shout out to Cam, all the people that was there with me in the beginning. I had 3 of my friends with me. They believed in me. Wow. And I say, bro, I'm about to start a company. I say, y'all stick with me. I got y'all. So I never forget, man. I was going around and shout out to Mr. 2 Weeks too. So I remember going to his gym, whatever, and just kind of reaching out to him and his wife or whatever. And when I see her again, I'm like, I reached out to her a couple years ago, but she was like, sounds a great idea, but she was just so busy that she had a lot of stuff going on. But she was just like, I want to help. They just had I think they was starting the gym, they had a whole lot of stuff going on or whatnot. But she was like, just keep going or whatever, right? So I was just still going around and like asking people to help me promote it. But of course, at the time when you like that, people ain't gonna really believe when they say you start a network marketing company. It took a while though. But honestly though, I get it though. I understood though. But I was like, you know what? Bump it. Got my 3 friends together, and I never looked back. We was doing an event. And I was staying in like a 600 square foot apartment. I was doing events in my apartment, and in my live, I was doing them every day for a whole year. Wow. From like Tuesday through Thursday, every day for a whole year.
That's what it takes, that consistency. So what does your network marketing company do? Maybe somebody's watching now and they're trying to make some extra money or whatever it is. So what does it do?
So basically we help people build a foundation. Okay. Because a lot of people, you hear this, do this, make a million. That life don't work that way. You need a foundation. You need something to build off of. Okay. And I feel like the foundation starts with your mind, your habits, and actually a vehicle to get you there. Yes. So what made me start the program was let's help you change your habits of like, replacing activity with productivity. Okay. Things that actually gonna lead you to where you're trying to go. Exactly. So let's start with credit. Let's get your credit right, because I feel credit is the foundation of everything. Yeah. Let's start, and it's a community too. So let's start building a community of like-minded people. So once you get the credit right, start building a community. Now let's teach you what to do with the credit once you get it. Credit is an advancement. It's meant to advance your life, because that's what credit is. So let's use this credit to advance your life. And a lot of people don't know it costs a lot of money to start an MLM. I mean, like a couple of $100,000. And I used that. I got to that point because of relationships and leveraging credit. So I'm like, if I can do it, I can help anybody make $1 million, whatever. Because just starting out with the credit, we offer Forex and crypto trading and binary trading too, because I made a lot of money in Forex. I lost a lot of money in the beginning. So don't think of one of them things where you're going to come in and make a whole bunch of money. There's a learning curve, but it took me about a good year to really learn how to trade. So now we offer Forex, and shout out to all my educators. We have some amazing educators, man. Shout out to Malik, Sam, all the people that kind of like make that vehicle drive, and all the leadership to make that happen. So people come in, they get their credit fixed. So we teach people how to get and like I said, it's like a school, honestly. Okay. Yeah. It sounds very like robust. Yes, it is though. So they come in, it's like a university. People come in, shout out to my credit educators. They'll come in, they go through a course, they take quizzes to make sure they retain the information. We have automated credit repair now where we'll do it for you. Because I want people to not just somebody fix their credit and you don't know what to do. You still make those same bad financial decisions that got you there in the first place. Okay. So let's educate you so you make that one mistake one time, learn from it, move forward.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Your approach to MLM M&M is quite unique. But a lot of people, when they heard of M&M, all they think of is like a body shape, a pill, a tea, some physical product, right? So why did you go the route of services rather than physical product that people are used to when it comes to MLM?
Yeah. Because products don't change lives, services do. Information change lives. So I was about to do products, but I was like, it wasn't no passion. I wouldn't have been passionate about it.
Okay.
And honestly, guess what? When you're not passionate about something, you find no value in it. And where there's no value, there's no discipline.
That's right.
So I found value in helping people.
Come on, Miles Monroe up in
I felt value in helping people. That's what made me disciplined for a whole year to put the stuff together and stay consistent, because I found value in the services and the information and what it has already done to change people's lives. So that's why I got to know. We start offering credit, real estate, e-commerce, and like I said, trading, because those are things that helps you really build generational wealth.
Absolutely.
And teach you how to build and run a business.
Wow.
That's so good. And I feel like it's also like the different things with the knowledge era and the digital age that we're in, that shift from physical products to services and things that are online. It's just the inevitable. So you might as well learn it.
Yeah.
So your business allows people to do that. But I want to talk about the C word that a lot of people skip over. And I think it's hard, especially when no one is buying into what you're excited about. And you said it, I said, oh, let me count how many times he said it. But you said the word consistency several times.
Yes.
Please talk about that. Because I can say for myself, like I have a YouTube channel. I've had that YouTube channel for 12 years, I think. But the last year is the most consistent I've ever been. Every Thursday, it's a brand new video up. Every single Thursday.
And you've seen the growth.
And not only the growth on the channel, but also the growth within myself and my confidence, how I show up when it comes to doing video or when it comes to recording something, communicating my ideas. That consistency has done something in me, not just, the channel. I mean, definitely I have it there so people can grow and they can benefit, but hey, something happening to me too. So but what's the mindset around when people, don't buy into it, or they like, okay, yeah, that's cool, I got you, but they don't support the vision.
And when people, of course, and with that, you get that pushback of like, I don't know, or things of that nature. I just feel like at that point, people just don't believe in themselves enough. And it's the programming that you probably have been conditioned to think that if it's not something overnight, because the first thing people ask you, how long will I make my money back? Yeah. And when people come with that mindset, I just be like, this ain't for you. Maybe when you go through personal development and understand that nothing in life is an overnight process, and you have to kind of break it down. Like, you went to school for 4 years, 18 years of education to go for a job to make somebody else rich. So with that same mindset, why would you think that building something up for yourself is going to be overnight? You shouldn't want to be overnight, because I was like, it took a while to get here. I'm going on 6 years into building a business, and I probably within 2 years ago, I had just hit a milestone, but what about the year or two of me not making no money?
Right.
Or the business was making money, but me personally, I wasn't making any money.
Right.
But that's the stuff that, are you willing to put that work in? So when you kind of talk to people at that capacity, I'm like, you still got a whole life for you to live. So what usually happens when I see people is the people that say no to their dreams, they say no to opportunities, 2 years later in the same position. Yeah. And I'd be like, what if you just said yes 2 years ago? Right. Your life would be a little different now. I said yes to my dreams. I still could have been at that job. Yeah. True. Making $70,000 a year. Yeah. But I said yes to my dreams, and I said yes to me learning and using what God built me to do. And I said yes to make an impact. I said yes to wanting to change the world, and it ended up changing my life. Now my world looks different 2 years later.
That is so amazing. So maybe somebody's watching right now and they're trying to get some, business nuggets, or gems or something that can help them. So what are some principles or secrets or success secrets that have helped you to become successful today, that maybe somebody's watching and you can maybe just look at that camera and just give them some success tips to go from zero, bring pretty much, almost dead to becoming a millionaire today? What are some tips that you can share with somebody?
Relationships. I feel like this, right? You can have a great idea, but if you don't kind of have a people behind you, remember I said in the beginning, I had 3 people with me. It didn't take a lot, but it was people that believed in me and they believed in my value And I spent time building those relationships with those people to the point where they were aligned with what I was trying to do. So if I could tell anybody, because you could say, hey, go do this and go do this or whatnot, consistency and work on building relationships and doing things with integrity and being genuine about it, and also be passionate about what you're doing. Like I said again, where there's passion, there's value. Where there's value, there's discipline. And there's no work done without discipline.
Wow. Let me ask you another question. I know Dr. Faye have a question too. You know, there's also this negative connotation out there when it comes to MLM type of businesses, because, I mean, frankly speaking, it seems like the top earners, they make money, but those at the bottom, they're not making money. And seem like a lot of people feel like they've been sold some pipe dreams, you know, like you go make your money in like 2 weeks or blah, blah, blah. You're going to be rich overnight. And then it's kind of have this negative connotation out there whereby a lot of people are saying that MLM is a scam or this and that. So what are you going to say about those people who have those negative, or what you say about people having negative connotation about MLM?
You've been misinformed, and you listen to people who have actually probably worked the business or did not put work into the business. You've been misinformed. The network marketing industry has created the most probably black millionaires in history. It's a model that you can just come in and leverage their services and products, leverage their back office, leverage their customer service, leverage their overhead, and you can literally have a business out the box, right? Something that you could just come in at a minimal price and learn $1 million skills. Because I actually mentor people that I would charge $20,000 for, and people in my organization, they be paying like $80 a month, but you're getting this high level mentorships, the relationships, you're building relationships with people all around the world. So when people have that negative stuff, they either never worked the business or they heard somebody else say, oh, don't do something like that, because maybe they had a bad experience or maybe they've been sold a dream. But with me being in leadership, that's what made me want to start my company. I lead with values. I don't lie to nobody about nothing. It does take time and it does take work. But what I try to get people to realize is don't think about the process. Think about the person that you're going to become at the end of the tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about the journey. Worry about your mind is being a totally different. Think about the way you process information, the abundant mindset you have, the gratitude you build from helping people, the character you build from the ups and downs. Because I like the ups and downs because it's build character.
Okay.
The struggle really builds character. So that means the further you grow, just imagine you have a toolbox with all of life's hardships. And now when you get into the real world, when you really step out there, you done built these tools to make your life easier, to be able to build whatever you want in life. Yeah. Most entrepreneurs in network marketing are going to be successful business owners because you've been building these tools for so long that now you can operate on your own. It's the best school you can have when it comes to like being a real entrepreneur.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I used to work for other people's businesses. My parents were entrepreneurs, but my first real experience with entrepreneurship was MLM. And
what was your experience?
I loved it. Yeah. I loved it. Now, first of all, let's just be clear. Your girl was making money. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And I was in college, so we was living it up. Like, it was great. And then eventually it dried up. But I realized, hindsight being 2020, part of the reason why I dried up is because my mindset hadn't shifted to the place of where I was trying to go to. So I felt like I had arrived, and to a certain extent I did, but and I tell my clients this now, like, your business is held under the lid that you operate under. So your business can only go as far as your mindset goes. If your mindset stops, then you'll see your business stop. And you have to hit that mindset up so that your business can now go up. And I think that's the hardest part of entrepreneurship that people don't talk about, is that mindset piece and having that toolbox. Like, it's okay to, and you said that too, and I'm just connecting this, having that toolbox of different things that have happened to you, different experiences that you've learned. So now when you're in business, you're like, I ain't worried about that. I know how to do that because I went through this. I know how to do that because I went through that. So just applying those experiences to where you're at right now and not being ashamed of it. Because a lot of people probably wouldn't tell the story of what you went through with the motorcycle accident because, I was down and this, that. But that really helped to build you up. So could you talk to the people and just share a little bit like how you were able to take something so different, that the accident and those things that happened to you, but applying those principles that you learned into business, and it now allowing you to accelerate yourself.
Not giving up. Because I could have been in the hospital and gave up, but I understood what staying consistent. Literally, I'm in therapy 3 times a week for a whole year.
Wow.
And that could mean two things. I could have lost some of my limbs because of the nerve damage and all the stuff that was going in. But that consistency and that commitment and that me wanting to live a better life, it may have took a year or two, but it ended up having me where I'm at today, right? So even during business, entrepreneurship, you're going to have ups and downs. Nobody is not going to just skyrocket in business. And if you do, you're going to fall. It's inevitable for one. If anybody tell you they just jumped out there, they didn't have ups and downs in business, telling you a lie. Because you only know what you know. When you hit to that point. And now you trying to pivot and adjust to things of that nature. But because I have spent years and going through all those things, I was just building my toolbox up with different weapons, with different just like I said, tools and systems so now when I get to this place in my life, when I have hardships in business, I have an arsenal of tools that I've been building for 7 years, where I can be like, okay, this is nothing to me. Let me go pull this faith out. Let me go pull this consistency out, because I already know what it looks like, and I already know what it felt like once you continue. And at the end of the day, I look at life differently. Like, okay, I'm not about to quit to go back for something I was trying to get away from.
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize that too. Like, if life is so, it's already been built. It's just like reverse engineering. It's like before you build a house, you already have a blueprint of what the house will look like. So you build back, right? So if I already know what my life will look like, I'm just going to re-engineer and go back.
Wow.
And build up the tools I need to get where I'm trying to go. But like I said, though, why would I quit to go back from a place I was trying to get away from? And I don't spend this time, like I said, building these tools. Yeah. And I thank God for those experiences. I thank him for everything that I went through, because that made me the person I am today. It wasn't just waking up one day being a CEO. I tell people all the time, not about the money, it's about the experience. Now I can be able to make me a great salesperson, because there's nothing that I can't speak to somebody about. You went through hardships, or you grew up in a private community, you didn't have no support. I could speak from people from very different angles, right? Because I went through all those situations. When I spoke about it at the event, I lost $1 million. Yeah. And it made me depressed, but I understood I could have stayed in that space and not still be able to continue to make the impact. Or when I had my wreck, I could have stayed at that space and not be where I'm at today. So now I could be able to speak to people from different perspectives.
Wow, that's so powerful. So maybe somebody's also watching too, and they are wondering, and maybe they're in MLM, and they're thinking of quitting, or they're not making money, or whatever the case is. What tips can you give to somebody in the industry, could be product or service, that can help them to really be more successful in the business?
First off, join the Wealth Builders. We will definitely help you be successful. And always try to reinvent yourself. That's super important, because times are changing. I don't think the industry is the same as it was years ago, because a lot of people now are becoming more I've never seen them as entrepreneurs in my life. Everybody's an entrepreneur now. So it's like, you have to find ways to create yourself and start always increasing value within yourself and stay in relationships. You have to stay in a relationship. That market is a relationship-based business.
Speaking of relationships, Ty, I know some of the new rich nation is going to be saying, well, he's moving his hands, but I don't see nothing sparkling on his hands. Where is woman at? What relationship you in?
Good
See,
question.
I'm helping y'all.
Yeah. Okay, so we're flowing really good. Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, right now I'm dating, but I honestly be so, I ain't gonna say I'm dating. Like, I just I date a little bit, but I be so busy like with the business. I don't really have, like, I make time, but it's not really my focus right now. And it's like I feel like that the person I'm looking for, a guy to send them to me. Okay, so it's like, I do have fun. I'm not gonna lie, I do have fun, but like it's not like right in the forefront of my mind right now.
But how God gonna send her? How is he gonna send her to you when you supposed to be the one finding a wife so you can find your good thing?
That's scripture.
I mean, like I said though, I do date. I do date. I have people in my life that I care about. But it's like I also
are you ready
let
to
this person.
Down?
I think I am, because I understand that what I need in life and where I'm going. I understand that I know what a woman brings to the table.
Okay.
I understand, a woman's essence.
Okay.
I understand as a woman. I understand a woman's value too. But it's about, okay, when I find those things in a woman, I will allow the relationship to flourish.
So how is it like dating rich and black and young and dating in the Atlanta scene?
How's
that been? How's the experience?
Man, it's amazing. Not gonna lie. Like it's definitely amazing. Living in Atlanta, there's a lot of beautiful women here. Having money, being a nice looking person. It's like it has its perks. It definitely has its perks. Sometimes it has its downs too. Just having to date multiple women in the sense too. But honestly, I have a lot of discipline too. So having that discipline keeps me kind of like grounded, not having me all over the place. But like I said, it definitely is fun. But I also know that I can't continue to do that if I want to get to this next place. So
what are you looking for in this woman? What are some qualities or values? What's important to you? What's the top 5 for you?
I would say, with my upbringing, I would need a woman that has a biological upbringing. Because that means that most of the time, we're going to have similar core values. Yeah. We're going to have, just similar emotions, similar upbringings. Because like, I ain't saying you got to think like me. Right. But like, when there's a certain situation come, you're going to operate a certain way because of the biological backgrounds. I would never mess somebody over. I would never harm nobody. I would never get over on all because that's not the way you're supposed to live. Yeah. And, and it's just like, having that and a person that understands who she is too, a very secure woman. And also, like I said, knows, who knows what she needs. And I'm big on I can't say I'm big on it, but I like the physical attributes of a woman. So, that and the mindset too. I used to think that like I wanted a woman that's like, she had to be just as successful as me. But as I've gotten older, that has changed.
Yeah. So you don't want her to be an entrepreneur?
She can be an entrepreneur because 2 things. I just talked this with my friends, man. You got to know as a man what you need and want. Right. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't need you to be just as busy as me. Because guess what? I may want you to cook a meal or something like that, right? And because I look at it like this, right? If there's a woman who's making sure I'm organized, making sure the house is right, that allows me to take my time to go make money. And it allows me to like, and somebody that has
when you hunt and you come home, she can refresh you.
Yeah, she can refresh me or whatever.
You're both always hunting at the same time.
Yes,
then I don't need to be refreshed. She's not there. She's busy. That's kind of what you say.
I don't need that. Like I know when to be a leader. Oh, look at them. They feel like, oh, she like that. But also someone who knows how to lead and knows when to let me lead too. Because I'm super humble in a relationship. I don't believe in gender roles. I don't believe in any of that things. I believe in whatever it takes. Partnership, compatibility. Right? Yeah. Me, take my hand with me. I want to also let a woman be who she is too. And with me in relationships, I'm like I said, super chill. Cause it's like, I don't try to, be a certain way. I don't try to be bossy.
So you like it to
just a flow. I never argue with people. I never argue with a woman ever. So I just be like, okay, I'm more of a communicator. Let's talk about it. I don't like having low vibrational confrontation because nothing's going to come out of that. Right. So somebody that just understands who they are. And, like I said, just, when they just has that flow. And somebody that can give, that's creative, they can give constructive criticism. Because I may come home one day having a bad, not say a bad day, but things may not go right. I need to be able to talk to you about these things. You be like, well, maybe you should try this. But I want to be able to value my woman's opinion and her intellectual mind.
Yes. So she have a mind, but she have a body.
Yes, I need
the Bible background.
Yes.
So you have the core values and beliefs. Are y'all taking notes?
Yeah.
I'm trying to help y'all.
Yeah, so I need that.
Marries well together and partnership. And I think that's really important. A lot of times people try to put themselves in a box and put their partner in a box. But it's really not even about that. It's like, what are you good at? Yep. Okay, this is what I'm good at. So, okay, you do the part that you good at. I'm going to do the part that I'm good at. And we got it.
Yes,
so now you don't lack anything.
And let me tell you what a lot of men, I feel like, I can say a lot of men with a lot of people. When you meet people, you immediately go into, I'm this, I'm that, I can do this. Then you look at it, okay, where do I fit in your life at?
Yes.
If I want to be your partner, you already throwing all these things out at me, what you good at, what you expect, what are those things test too. So now you've actually have probably changing the way that she probably would treat you, her normal way to treat you. Cause now she has to try to figure out a way, where can I fit in this man's life at? So when I meet a person, I never say, oh, I'm this, I'm that. You know, that's what I got going on. I dumb it down so much because I need you to just come in with the person that you are, so I can get I can know the person who you are. I don't want to date an image. I don't want to date a pretender. I want to know who you are. But when you present that wolf out there, that boss or whatever, I people just be like I said, where can I fit in your life at?
Awesome.
That's good, because I think a lot of times too, people are always trying to just, okay, well, what do you need?
Yeah.
But what do you want? And then they'll just do that, even if it's not authentic to who they really are.
I don't want that. Be who you are. If you don't like doing this, let it be known. Like, just let it be known. Like, you know, let it be known. I'm very observant. I'm gonna observe things too, but I don't feel like, me personally, I feel like it's hard to build a relationship with somebody when there's no compatibility, when there's no equal energy being, because one day I might need you to be 100%. I might be 20%.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not always gonna operate at 100%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give 100%, but that one day I may not be able to operate at 100%.
Absolutely.
My 100% may be 20 that day. I need you to be 80.
Yeah.
And the truth is, that's how marriage goes. It's seasons. Like, there were seasons where I was the one that was taking care of everything bills wise, because he was building something, he was working on something, and I didn't have a problem with that. And I never made him feel like less than, because that's what we were doing at the time. Because I knew that there's a season, that seasons change. Fall, winter, summer, they change. So when it was that season for him to really do what he was born to do, and the time for him to shine, I had to fall back. Now, I will admit, I did have a little hard time with that, because I got used to operating that way. But when he would come back and be like, man, I'm so glad you took care of this. I'm so glad this is taken care of. I don't have to think about it, or it's not on me. It would like validate to me, like, okay, I'm playing my position. I'm playing, you know, because if you're a team, everybody got a position.
Everybody position. That's
play
why
position.
Play your position.
Forward, be a forward.
Yep. And we can win the championship together.
Yeah.
And everybody benefits from it.
And we both gonna wear the ring.
Yep.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, that's so amazing. So we're going to be wrapping up in a few minutes, you know. But I also want to ask you, because I feel like another thing that a lot of people that's also very inspirational and different about your story is young and having your own MLM company, you know, as a Black person. That's very, very wonderful. So can you also share, you know, as we begin to round off now, what are some tips that you can also share if somebody in your space, like, wow, I like what Taquan is doing. You know, maybe I want to have my own MLM, or I want to learn how to, whatever that industry is, you know, which I don't know why for a long time we didn't have a lot of Black entrepreneurs in this space. You're one of the few that own their own MLM companies. You know, what tips or gems can you share that will help somebody?
I would say make sure that you stay up to date on the new information that's out. Always adding, you know, bringing excitement into your organization. That's super important. Like, I learned that growing over, that culture is honestly more important than the actual service itself. It's more important than the service itself. You can have the best service, but if your culture kind of dry, everybody operating out of ego, your leadership is all out of whack, people tend to, it could cause you to lose members. It can cause your morale to be depressed in your organization. I like that. So always keep the culture up, you know, be honest and just provide value, and just keep that morale, and just do things the right way, honestly, and communicate with people.
Yeah.
And always be willing to help. Communicate with people and always willing to help. Because at the end of the day, most of the time in network marketing industry, these people be with you for 5-10 years. Yeah. So at that point, y'all become family members, and it's like you want to just operate a certain way. And even me being in a position, I still talk to many members I can, and just provide them a safe environment to operate in. Yeah. It's like a woman. You provide a safe place for a woman to operate in, they flourish. Yeah. So I look at it the same way in my organization. If I provide a safe place where you can speak your mind, you can have feedback or whatever, that means to let you know you're valuable. You're not just somebody in here that's paying or whatever. Yeah. And like I said, what made me go to the service base, regardless if you don't build a business, these services will change your life. So at the end of the day, I sleep well at night knowing that I'm actually changing people's lives. So make sure the people that own that, make sure whatever you're doing, you're actually helping a person.
Awesome.
New Rich Nation, y'all let us know in the comments how this, I loved it personally, but y'all let us know in the comments what you took from this interview with Ty. I love seeing young folks just doing their thing, and that's exactly what he's doing. So we appreciate you coming out.
Thank y'all for having me.
You're a big time CEO, so we can't just hold you like that all day.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And also, before we wrap up, too, just want to remind you all that please like, comment, and subscribe to to this podcast. Especially if you really love it, let us know in the comment as well. Ask some questions too, and this will really help you. Also, this episode brought to you free from Vonza.com, the all-in-one platform for your online business. So with Vonza, you can create and sell your courses, memberships, funnels, email, forms, scheduling, everything you need for your online business in one tool, so that all your business can be in one place and you don't have to be all over the place like it used to be. So you can go to Vonza.com and create a totally free account and check it out. So before we let Ty go, I just want Ty to look at this camera right there and just leave people with one really solid, like 30 to 60 seconds germs that will really, really change somebody's life.
What will really change somebody's life, man, I would say work on building your foundation. If I could just say anything, because without that foundation, even if you do fall, you still have something to build off of.
That is so amazing. So how can people find you, hear about you, follow you, or join your the Wealth Builders?
So if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at WB Burney. That's WBBURNEY. Or you can subscribe on our website at www.thewealthbuilders.me. And we have free weekly webinars that you can join. It's free. You can hear everything about the company and all the thousands of lives that we changed around the world.
That is so awesome. You have any final thing you want to say as a closeout?
Consistency. That's what I took from today. Take that with you as well. Be consistent in anything that you're doing with love and passion. It's going to work out.
Always.
That's so awesome. So, guys, that's amazing. This is an amazing story of a young man at 28 years old, started a multi-million-dollar, multi-level marketing company, almost died in an accident, bounced back, didn't know his dad until 2 years ago, still bounced back. And he said, you have to be consistent, and give so many important, powerful information to you that can change your life. So make sure that you take action on what you heard today. And if you want to learn how to build credit, how to real estate, Forex, all of those stuff. So connect with Wealth Builders. It's a good place. You can't lose learning, right? So you don't have to worry about product, if you're going to like it or not. This is information and product that will help you. So we hope that you check it out as well. All right. That's it for this episode. I'm Uyi Abraham.
And I'm Dr. Faith Abraham. And we'll see you in the next episode, New Rich Nation.
All right, New Rich Nation. We'll see you next time.
Let's have a good one.
Bye for now.